Welcome back to The Advocates. Dementia affects more than 55 million people, and there's no cure. When best-selling health and wellness author Max Lugavere's mother was diagnosed with the disease, he began filming her journey. It's now featured in the documentary Little Empty Boxes. Max tells me he's advocating for hope and more research, so one day there will be a cure for the illness that took so much from his family.
Do you remember what the date is today? Well, how about the month?
No.
Max Lugavere's mother, Kathy, struggled to answer simple questions.
And that was really the moment for me that I knew that everything had changed.
It all began when Kathy showed sudden signs of severe memory loss.
Get me out of here.
At just 58 years old, she was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia.
She couldn't tell us what month it was. And we continued to poke and prod and, essentially, our instinct was that my mom was trolling us. And we continued to poke and she started to cry.
The condition causes a decline in mental abilities and may also cause Parkinson's disease-like symptoms.
What do you feel like with that disease?
Very tired. Very scared.
What are you scared of?
I'm afraid I'm going to die very young.
My mom was the most important person in my life. I'm the firstborn in an incredibly small family. I was my mom's first son. Everything that I am today is attributable to her.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I just clipped some coupons that I'm gonna never use. I'm gonna kiss my son Max right now, who's holding the camera.
Dementia now affects 55 million people globally. There's no cure. How much did you know about dementia when she was first diagnosed?
Very little. I knew next to nothing about dementia. As any millennial with a data plan would do, when my mom was first prescribed drugs for both Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease, I Googled them and phrases started to pop out at me like no disease-modifying treatment, that these drugs are essentially nothing more than biochemical Band-Aids, and for many people, they don't even work at all. And to me, that was a really disenchanting moment and very upsetting because, ultimately, the person that I loved most in the world was relegated to essentially just being on these pharmaceuticals for the rest of her life. And not that I have anything against pharmaceuticals, but in the case of dementia, they are minimally effective. So the journalist in me intuitively sought to question why that's the case and if there was anything else out there that might potentially help her.
Through the film, viewers learn that dementia actually forms about 20 to 30 years before a diagnosis can be given. Were you surprised to learn that?
I was shocked to learn that. To me, that was something that was, incredibly important to start talking about at a time when nobody else was talking about it. If you take 30 years away from my mom's age, my mom had me when she was 30.
Little Empty Boxes also questions if diet and the environment may negatively affect the brain.
My intent for the film was not to present some, silver diet, plan that's going to help people prevent this condition with absolute certainty, because we don't know the diet that can help. The dietary aspects that we explore in the film were certainly surprising to me, but all of the other lifestyle factors that play a role were also very surprising.
And tell us about the title, Little Empty Boxes. How did you come up with that?
Well, actually, I credit my co-director Chris for coming up with it. He had to sit through thousands of hours of raw tape that I had filmed, over the prior 10 years, but even longer than that if you consider all the home footage that is included in the film. And there's a really intimate moment in the film when my mom is, really struggling with her communication, but is nonetheless trying to describe her inner world. And she uses Little Empty Boxes essentially as a metaphor for what's going on inside.
Sadly, Kathy's cognition rapidly declined.
What did you write?
I can't read it.
And she passed away at just 66 years old. But Max hopes her life and his documentary spur more discussions and research about dementia.
And it wasn't until my mom got sick that I decided to embark on documenting essentially her journey, which was a way for me to take something that was incredibly painful and turn it into something purposeful and meaningful. And also in tandem with that, to help get the word out about the steps that we can all take in our day-to-day lives to reduce our risk for the development of dementia. If I think people take away anything from the film, it's to let the people in their lives that they love know that they love them, because, you know, your loved ones can be taken away from you at any moment.
For more information on the film, visit littleemptyboxes.com. Such a heartbreaking story. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says women and people who are Hispanic and Black are more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. For more information, go to cdc.gov/aging.